There's a big lie that everyone buys into about full-time travel and RV life. One that I haven't heard anyone talk about. But to fully explain, I have to tell you a story. We first stayed at Dinosaur Valley RV Park in Glen Rose, Texas about a year ago. It was our big test trip when we bought the rig. We just hooked up the internet and the towing setup for our Jeep. And our 1 week trip to Glen Rose was our dress rehearsal for what it would be like to live and work in the RV as full-timers. We picked the campground because it was close to where we were storing the RV at the time. We weren't expecting much.
Keep expectations low.
It ended up being one of our favorite campgrounds. I'll show you around the park later in the video so you can see why. But what's important is that we realized during that first stay that we wanted to view the eclipse from Dino Valley, and that it was in the path of totality. Having experienced the mad rush when we tent camped in Kentucky during the total eclipse of 2017,
it's chaos.
We knew that we would have to book the park ahead, so we did. We booked it a full year ahead to stay there. This was before we had any other travel plans. We booked a return to Dino Valley.
Risky, yes.
After that stay there, that week-long stay, we prepared to move out of our old apartment and into the RV to live full-time. And just 6 weeks later, we were on the road. And we've been on the road ever since. We've traveled thousands of miles to some of the most beautiful places in the country. Every new place we went was an adventure. Even simple things like figuring out where to gas up the rig or where to get groceries could be fiendishly challenging. Not to mention all the things that broke in our RV. But we saw the sights. It was a year of non-stop novelty until we finally swung back around into familiar territory. And we started to stay at some of the same parks, which included Dino Valley. And that's when the biggest lie about full-time travel and RV life was revealed. Oh, it looks so much brighter on camera, babe, than it is.
Yeah, like it's going to auto adjust.
That's okay though, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, this is amazing.
This is perfect.
Listen to the birds, they're doing the roosting thing. They think it's twilight, everybody.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Got 30 seconds to totality. Oh, it's getting so dark, guys. Yo, look how dark it is. Look at that over there, how it's, looks like it's sundowning. Guys, it's like 1:30. Oh, look at it, the night sky. I can actually kind of look at
so
it.
There's Venus.
Guys, look at that.
10 seconds.
Venus is out, everybody. Wow, guys.
2,
Look.
1.
Look, everybody.
Beautiful. Everybody's cheering. I love it. Oh,
my God. Oh, look at that. Guys, look at it. Jesse, make sure you get a close up for them.
I'm trying.
Oh my God, everybody. Oh my God.
Yeah, this camera's not great, is it?
Oh, guys. Oh, guys, it's so beautiful. The dogs are losing it.
Oh, that is gorgeous. This is perfect. I couldn't have wished for better, honestly.
Y'all, I'm tearing up.
It is a visceral reaction, this is.
Beautiful.
Like, I can see Venus, I can see, well, actually, that might be Mercury.
That's Venus there. I can crop in for them.
Actually, I'm not sure which, yeah, you can see the planets.
Look, everybody.
You can see some stars.
Sudden twilight. We got 3 minutes of twilight.
This is great.
Look at this, baby. And see, so for lighting perspective, that's the light inside that was invisible before. Guys.
So we're about to reach the middle right now.
Y'all.
See if I can see if the photo's any better than.
Happy New Year. Unbelievable. Thank you for being with us during this. Gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, the eclipse was magical, but even more than that, the real magic was the feeling of returning to somewhere that we'd loved. Because, you see, the biggest lie about full-time travel is that its biggest value is in experiencing the next trending thing and constant novelty. Where actually, the magic comes when you return to somewhere you've been before, to find both it and yourself changed, transformed. After constant novelty, similarity seems to be almost magical. And this now very familiar campground in Glen Rose, Texas, is one of the most magical places ever for us because it shows us where we've started and where we've come. Let me show you around the park so you can see what I mean.
Color is about right.
So this is our site. You can see it's quite long, plenty of room to park both our 32-foot Class C and our 2-door Jeep. Got a nice picnic table, decent amount of lawn space, that fire ring. Okay, and back here is an outdoor lounge with a fire pit. That's a common area. Basically every weekend, the park has music and a snow cone truck and various events, and the bands play around here and people congregate. Now, back here is a little playground for the kids as well, which is nice because you can have the adults watching the music and enjoying themselves in that area, and then the kids can come off here and play, you know, on the equipment. And because it's Dino Valley, we even have this cool little Triceratops statue. So a neat thing about Dino Valley RV Park is that it has 2 pools. This is pool 1. It's for all ages, so the kids can come and play here. Got all these picnic tables. It's a really nice big pool. And here's pool number 2. This one is adults only. And then, you know, off in the right corner in the back there is a hot tub. Here I am walking up to the shower house. Now, these 4 doors here are all private bathroom and showers. They each have a locking door. And what I'll do is I will just show you one of them. They're pretty much identical. So yeah, you've got, you know, a bathroom, floor mat, hooks to hang stuff up on, that's me, nice sink, and a really nice shower. And both times I stayed, the showers were immaculate. Here's the laundry room. Nice big prep area over here with some rules posted. And we've got 4 washers and 4 dryers. It's $3.50 or $4 to wash, depending on which cycle you choose, and then $2 to dry. So a bit pricey, but not the worst I've seen. And all of the machines were working. This is a really unique feature I haven't seen other places. It's a bike and remote control vehicle track. Another really nice feature for the kids. Dino Valley RV Park does a good job balancing activities for kids with things for adults to do. And here's another kid activity, the Play Fort, which I'll show you really quickly. Basically a themed playground area for the kids to kind of hang out and pretend they're doing Wild West stuff. So there's lots for kids to do between the playground, the RC track, the kids-only pool, the play fort, and the barnyard petting zoo with the goats. And here's a personal favorite of mine. That's the Paluxy River right there. This is a little walking trail that goes right along the edge of the park. It's got good shade from the trees. There are a number of places to sit at picnic tables. It's quite a large area. It runs for essentially the entire length of one side of the park. And I came out here all the time to walk, to think, to take phone calls, to work. It was busier on the weekends, but during the weekdays, I pretty much had it to myself. And I'll quickly just show you the dog park. Very solid dog park. Tube to run through, bench for the owners to sit. Enough grass. Pretty large too. Really solid dog park. And now it's time for the most important review of all. It's Ratface's review. So, fun story. Dino Valley RV Park on our first visit was actually the first place that Ratface ever walked on a leash. And to be honest, he was a little hesitant at first, and we didn't make it easy for him. I accidentally put his harness on backwards. I didn't know what I was doing. But he walked that very first night. As you can see from this video from our return visit to the park, he loved it just as much when he came back. So definitely one of his favorite parks and where he learned to leash walk. He was very happy there. As you may have guessed by the name, Dino Valley RV Park is right next to Dino Valley State Park in Texas, which is a really cool state park. In addition to normal draws of nature and hiking and all that good stuff that you find at most state parks, Dino Valley State Park has preserved dinosaur fossil footprints in the riverbed. Also, another great feature for kids is that Dino Valley RV Park is literally right across the road from Dinosaur World, which is a collection of life-size models and activities for kids, a playground, and a small museum. Glen Rose is also the home of Fossil Rim Wildlife Center, which is a drive-around zoo. You get to drive around in your car and see wildlife.
Oh, you're so good.
Hi, baby.
Yes, you are. Oh, yes, I'll give you a little bit more, and I'm going to let the other people go. Thank you very much.
And if that weren't enough, Glen Rose, Texas is actually not that far from Fort Worth, which is a large city with anything you could possibly need. And Fort Worth is the home of a daily cattle drive in its Stockyards district. The Stockyards are cool. It's basically an outdoor mall, and they have the daily cattle drive. We've been a few times and we've loved it. Okay, so you've seen the campground. Let's talk about all the pros and cons. The first pro is those goats and those farm animals. What a treat. They have the petting zoo hours on the weekends for the kids. They're there throughout the week. They don't really have a guided petting zoo experience during the week because the campground is really quiet during the week, but they're there. I visited them every single day when I was in the area, just even staying outside, waving, seeing them. They were like my pets for the week. I loved them. The second pro is that every site in the park is a pull through, and the roads and the orientation of the spots is very beginner friendly. If you've never driven your RV to stay somewhere, this is a really good beginner park. And even for us as experienced full-timers, it was nice to pull in and have such an easy parking experience at the end of a long travel day. The third pro is you are right next to Dinosaur Valley State Park with the fossil exhibit in the riverbed and all the nice hikes. You know, we've done that. We had a blast. It was great. You can actually walk to Dino Valley from the park. It is that close, although you need the state park pass. It's not included in your RV park admission, and it is a private park not affiliated with the state park and campground at the state park. And speaking of a good location, there's Dinosaur World across the road. There's also the Fossil Ridge Drive Around Zoo, which we've done, which was really cool. And you are not that far from Fort Worth, which is a big city that has everything that you would ever need. So it's a good location. The town of Glen Rose is also adorable. The next pro is the laundry facility is very good. It's a little pricey, but not bad. The next pro is there are immaculate private showers. I would say these are up there with the best private campground showers I've seen on the road. It was very difficult to start out with these showers and then go around to other campgrounds and then find that they weren't as nice as these. It's really lovely. Each of the shower stalls has its own locking door. Love that. The next pro is that there are actually 2 pools, and as you could see, one of them is adult only and has a hot tub. So, you know, you won't have to worry about kids, you know, getting in there, splashing, making noise if you want to have some adult time, but they have the other one where they can really cut it up. So it's a really nice solution, really good pool setup. The next pro is really personal to us, but I thought I would mention it. The first time we actually booked the park, we had an illness, a very serious illness that befell us, and we had to change our stay. We had to shift it a couple of weeks. And I talked to them and they were very understanding and they moved it for us, even though at the time it was actually an exception from their normal policy of booking. They were very, very understanding, very sweet, very nice. And on our second stay, we needed some different days and they were able to accommodate us there. So they were more flexible than the policy would recommend. I do think that you shouldn't abuse that. And I was more delighted that this was the case. I would never expect such treatment. It was wonderful to find that that was the case. The next pro is that, especially in our site there on the end, which I really love, there was plenty of room to walk Ratface. We had all that area over there. He had a blast. And the final pro was the Paluxy River walking path behind. It was really nice. I like to go over there. I take phone calls with my mom. I would work. I actually shot a couple videos back there. It was really quiet. It was really tranquil. On the weekends, it did get a little bit more hectic. In general, the park is a lot busier on the weekend, which made it really nice for full-timers like us who work during the week because it was quiet when we were working and then there was stuff to do on the weekends. So worked out well both times. All right. The con list is very short. Unsurprisingly, it's one of our favorite parks, but I thought I would mention some cons here if I'm going to be nitpicky. The first con is gravel sites. So this is such a thing. I don't mention it very often, but I do know that when Justin is trying to level and do things, sometimes gravel can be a little bit more difficult to level and get the blocks on. They tend to slip when he's trying to do that. I also know that when we stay at a gravel site, it'll get kicked up into our tires, so sometimes when we're driving away down the interstate, we'll kind of hear the thunk, thunk, thunk of rocks as we're moving away. So paved is nice when we can get it. These are gravel. It's pretty good gravel, but you know, gravel. The second con is not the park's fault, but I thought I'd mention it. This area of Texas gets very windy, so it's very difficult to put out your awning. We actually left right before there were the big tornado warnings. There were some severe thunderstorm hail warnings. We didn't get that, but it's a known factor of this area, and we noticed on both trips when we had the big gusts of wind, our RV would rock sometimes, which is a little disconcerting. It feels like there's a giant pushing on it, but it is what it is. It's not their fault. It's just something about this area. So if you're in this area staying at any park, you're going to have these same problems, but wanted to mention it. It's Tornado Alley. The third and final con is that it's a new park. It's only a few years old. They have some trees there, but they're very young and they're not producing shade yet. When we stayed, both times we stayed in April and it was just kind of heating up then. It was a good time to head out. If you stayed here during the summer when the kids are off, it could be very hot. Texas can get very hot. There's no shade. So I do think that it could be challenging during those months. That said, it was lovely in the spring. I'm sure it'd be lovely in the fall, and I imagine it'd be lovely in the winter. And hopefully those trees will grow up. They're taking very good care of them. They're out there all the time working on the trees and making sure they're doing well. So fingers crossed for that. But yeah, lack of shade. I mean, on the plus side, our Starlink had great access to the sky. So there's that at least. That was important to us. And we planned accordingly and didn't stay here when it was going to be ungodzilla-ly hot. But bottom line, this is easily a top 10 RV park for us. It feels like home in the best possible way. Very easy for us to live and work there. It was actually kind of sad to go when we left. I was so relaxed. You know, I was excited for where we were going next, but I was so relaxed. It was like, ah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Keep on moving, and I'll see you in the next video.